Hello, I'm Carolyn Semino. I'd like to share with you my proposal on the residual effects of adverse childhood experiences. Go with me down through this PowerPoint. There's a plethora of literature on adverse childhood experiences, or ACE, but there's a gap in the literature on how ACE has lifelong effects. Brown et al. Investigated long-term effect of childhood sexual abuse. Jang and Jang found that adverse childhood experiences had negative effects on mental health. Sachs, Erickson et al. Explored late life suicide related to ACE. And Guy et al. Posited that ACE is a significant factor in suicide among young people. Osborne et al. Studied the relationship between ACE and suicide ideation. Tillot et al. Investigated ACE and mental disorders. Wang et al. Examined the association between child abuse and attempted suicide. This study, Adverse Childhood Effects and Residual Lifelong Effects, will investigate different effects such as depression, suicide ideation, suicide, failed marriages, substance abuse, among others that may arise as the study unfolds. The research questions that are driving this study are there residual lifelong effects of adverse childhood experiences? If so, what are the residual lifelong effects of adverse childhood experiences? What are the mitigating factors of the effects of adverse childhood experiences? Alternative hypothesis 1 states there are residual lifelong effects of adverse childhood experiences. Alternative hypothesis 2 states residual lifelong effects of adverse childhood experiences include depression, suicide ideation, suicide, failed marriages, substance abuse, as well as other possible effects. Alternative hypothesis 3 states Christian counseling and prayer will have a positive mitigating effect on those that are affected by adverse childhood experiences. The variables in this study are independent, adverse childhood experiences, and Christian counseling and prayer. The dependent variables are depression, suicide ideation, suicide, failed marriages, and substance abuse. The study of a relationship between ACE and residual lifelong effects is important to the mental and physical well-being throughout the lifetime of the victims of ACE. How these effects can be overcome by using mitigating techniques is a study that needs to be pursued. In the study of ACE and its possible residual lifelong effects, the theoretical foundation is directly related to human behavior. The biblical foundation of a study on ACE and its possible residual lifelong effects encompasses the grand idea of the Bible itself. The Bible's salvation message assures humankind that we're not left alone to overcome our difficulties and trials. Psalms 23 talks to us about how the Lord is our shepherd, and his rod and his staff guide and direct us and protect us. Philippians 4:13 states, I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. The next 3 slides are my references. Thank you for going through this PowerPoint with me.